The fact that they are charging less in Japan than everywhere else, despite still needing to import the console from another country, is blatant favoritism, because it's not just America that is getting the higher prices, it's the rest of the world too. And so it's strange that all of a sudden the Switch 2 is the one that's region locked. I get it. Nintendo can do whatever they want as a company. And you're right, they can. But we as consumers also have the right to say, fuck you, that's bullshit, I'm not participating.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix. I'm back on the Great Guys YouTube channel, and hey man, gamers are actually waking up. Gamers are waking up, I tell ya. And they are getting sick and tired of Nintendo's anti-consumer policies and business tactics, I tell you. Gamers are reaching a breaking point and giving up loyalty to Nintendo. They will not, they're no longer being loyal to Nintendo. Yes, I mean there's even some fanboys that are just throwing the towel, just saying, you know what, I can't take this anymore. Screw it. I'm not gonna buy another console if I'm gonna have to deal with all this nonsense. On top of that, there's people still returning their Switch. I mean, at this point, one thing that I've noticed is most people return their Switch 2 after 2 to 3 weeks. Before the end of the month, after 2 to 3 weeks. You know, they return it back to GameStop or ship it out back to Nintendo. And it's not just Nintendo. Just remember, the console war is over. There's no more consoles. Nintendo Switch 2 is not a console. The Nintendo Switch 2 is not a console. If you look at all the flaws it has and how anti-consumer it is, this is not a console. This is a dictator machine. Guys, it's your boy Andy Matrix. If you have not heard of me, make sure to check me out on Andy Matrix Gaming, where I talk about anime, gaming, Japanese culture, all that cool stuff. Okay, make sure to hit the link in the description to follow me. I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers. If you'd like to help out with that, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Guys, make sure to follow Angry Guy on Rumble. YouTube has become the censor station, and Angry Guy's uploading his videos to Rumble. He's even got some new content over there, so go ahead and check it out. Yeah. And finally, do not let the elites tell you that you own nothing and be happy. You know, in this digital world that we're living in, you're going to want to invest into cryptocurrency. So go ahead and check out Angry Guy's Crypto Academy, where you'll learn how to buy and sell crypto the right way and which coins to choose. Click the link in the description and check out Angry Guy's Crypto Academy. Now let's move on. All right, so the console war is over, especially since Sony PlayStation announced that they are going multi-platform, which is going to lead more people towards PC gaming, essentially. Nintendo is in trouble. Nintendo is in trouble, with the Switch 2, because the sales are absolutely garbage. Sales are in the dumpster. I mean, I've done a video about it. If you guys go back a few videos regarding the Nintendo sales, and millions of gamers are getting the message and seeing how Nintendo is screwing gamers over with the Switch 2. This is one of the worst Nintendo consoles out there. I mean, I think the Wii U, I think that the Nintendo Wii U is actually better than this garbage. Nobody wants it. I mean, we're seeing it in the sales in social media. You go on TikTok, and there's thousands of videos of people just confirming this console sucks. This console sucks. I'm returning my console. I'm gonna return my Switch 2 to GameStop. There has been many people just putting it out there on the internet that they're sick and tired. They will not. They're returning their Switch. They're not gonna buy it. They don't recommend it. And a whole bunch of other issues, man. But anyways, today I got a YouTuber that's going to share their experience and their thoughts on Nintendo Switch. And I'm gonna do some commentary on it, so go ahead and check it out. The YouTuber name is called Switch. All right, so here we go.
Wow, so the Switch 2 has been a bit of a crazy release. I don't typically make these types of videos, but I got tons of shit for simply trying to look out for consumers and their wallets. So, let's talk some more about how the Switch 2 is doing, shall we?
You done messed up, Aaron!
Well, I'm sitting here recording this, eating my big bowl of crow. Switch 2 sales are through the roof! Oh my gosh, you guys, I was so wrong. Look at all these sales numbers. I'm such a poor who can't afford the Switch 2, and I am so big mad that I was such a fool, and now I see that I was wrong because of its huge, massive sales that are so big, they are so amazing. There are absolutely no issues whatsoever with the Switch 2.
Butthead? What's that noise?
Wait. What was that? Sorry? $80 to $90 games? Full price for an empty box with a digital download code? Full price cartridges that only contain a download code and no game? What's that? The consoles are region locked and being sold for $100 less in Japan than the rest of the world? Consoles are getting bricked because people put used copies of games they purchased in the system? What's that? I don't own my console? I'm paying $450 plus the $80 to $90 for games that I don't own? What's that? Nintendo pulled the Switch from Amazon because they sold it for $100 less than they were? How dare they! We demand every penny from every person that wants to play Mario! Bare your bank account and soul to Nintendo so you can play Pokemon, peasants! Hey, shut the fuck up, Switch. Donkey Kong Bazinga is amazing. Maybe it is, and I hope anyone that is leasing the game is having fun with it. But holy fuck, I genuinely had no idea Nintendo would go so scorched earth on the consumer. Everyone has heard of the Power World debacle. And yes, there have been years and years of evidence of Nintendo shutting down consumers who dare put Breath of the Wild on PC and run it at a higher frame rate than an Amazon Kindle, and how they go scorched earth on any creator that sees a picture of an upcoming product before it's released. But in my mind, I was like, okay, it's been a rough couple of years living through the super anti-consumer Nintendo, but I really didn't think they would get worse than that, but holy shit they did. Is anyone else that is old enough to remember getting flashbacks to Xbox in 2013? Microsoft still hasn't recovered from that, and I feel like Nintendo is heading in that same direction. Don't get me wrong, Nintendo is older and has a larger and more passionate fan base than Xbox does. So I don't think it's going to get as bad as that. But I think this has made any gamer who liked Nintendo but wasn't a diehard fan go, that's okay. I got other stuff. I don't need this right now. There still are only 2 new games that are released for the system. At the time of this video being made, it's Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bazooka. Again, I've seen the videos. They look like fun games, and I hope anybody that paid the $80 to rent the games from Nintendo are having fun with it. But unless you're a diehard Nintendo fan that will let them lube you up and tear into you like Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal on a mountain, I feel like your reaction to all of this is, yeah, I don't need it. Again, if you aren't a blind Nintendo fan, I feel like rational gamers will say, I've got my PC, I got my Steam Deck, I've got my ROG Ally, I've got my PS5, I've got my Xbox. Yeah, I'm good. And shoot, I even forgot about this one. Most people are going, I still got my original Switch. So, yeah, I'm good. Like, we are eating good this year with non-Nintendo releases, ladies and gents. And they thems. We got South of Midnight this year. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Stellar Blade have been peeled away from their exclusivity, and we have Silent Hill F and Chronos The New Dawn coming later this year, which both look fantastic. And apparently, Bluebird Team just announced a remake of the first Silent Hill. Also, Xbox is releasing its standalone handheld later this year that will not only let you play the purchased Xbox games library that you have, but Game Pass and Steam as well. Yep, you'll be able to play PS5 games that have been released on Steam on Xbox.
That is right, and as we're moving into the all-digital future, As for moving into the old digital future, you're going to want to invest into the Crypto Academy. Angry Guys Crypto Academy. You learn how to buy and sell crypto, learn how to day trade crypto, make a profit, and which coins to choose. Out of 1,000 coins, only 10 or 20 are actually worth investing in, and Angry Guy is going to show you which ones to buy. So go ahead and click the link in the description. Check out Angry Guys Crypto Academy.
Hey guys, in a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now.
Now let's move on with the show. Okay, so many gamers are refusing to buy a Switch 2. Okay, I mean, you can forget about the Amazon reviews. Forget about the Amazon reviews or the Walmart reviews, the Target reviews. I mean, once you see thousands of videos on the internet of people just telling you, hey, like, I'm returning my Switch, this Switch has got way too many problems. And this is going around through mainly YouTube, TikTok, I think Instagram. I've seen videos on even Facebook just confirming the Switch 2 is just a garbage console. I don't want it. I don't need it. I have no desire to buy the Switch 2. So yeah, I have absolutely no desire to buy the Switch 2. And on top of that, it only has 2 games, which is really, really sad. What's the point of buying a console with only 2 games in it? You know, well, then again, it depends how many games you want to play. But also, you know, another reason is because, you know, forget about Nintendo breaking consoles and the game key card being, you know, the game key cards just confirming that you don't own your games, and the Switch 2 not having enough games to play. The flaws of the Switch 2 console is driving people away, but it's not just that. It's also the idiotic Nintendo fanboys who blindly purchase everything that Nintendo sells. Okay, the Nintendo fanboys are driving potential customers away, worshiping Nintendo and telling people why Nintendo is never wrong and how Nintendo can do whatever they want. You've heard it. You know, you've heard it. Nintendo can do whatever they want. And the fanboys are still going to just blindly, just put a blindfold and walk into GameStop with their credit cards or in cash, whatever they have, right? And these people are pretty crazy. I think, especially if you're on the internet, I think a Nintendo fanboy is probably going to drive you away from buying a Switch 2 more than Amazon reviews and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because they argue with people on the internet. You know, they argue with people on the internet. I've done, you know, commentary on Furtanga's videos, you know, just confirming this. But anyways, let's go back to Switch.
I am so pumped for that console, and I will absolutely buy that. But the Switch 2 just doesn't have it. Not only do they not have the games, but the companies handling the region lock and the price drop in their country but nowhere else makes no sense. The Switch 2 isn't even made in Japan. It's assembled in Vietnam, so it's not like they are saving money making it at home and then selling it. They still gotta import the console. I even understand, despite my ethical disagreements with the philosophy, technically that piracy is considered stealing under the law. Now yes, I 100% fall into the camp of if I don't own anything I buy, then pirating isn't stealing. But that's not what the law says right now, so it is technically illegal. Hopefully Stop Killing Games can do something about this, but we will see. So I understand technically why Nintendo would brick consoles that play pirated games, despite me personally disagreeing with it. But holy fuck, used games? They are bricking over used games now. Fuck that nonsense. I purchase used games all the fucking time. I'm sorry Nintendo can't double dip on those purchases, and I feel so terrible for the billion-dollar company that is actively selling expensive tablets with the specs of a $100 tablet made 2 years ago. But that's how it works. You sold a product to the consumer for a price. If the consumer wants to sell it to someone else or sell it back to a store, that's their right. They are supposed to own the product. But getting salty because someone doesn't pay your stupid prices is not the way, Nintendo. Yeah, PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox will brick your consoles if you play pirated games on it. Yes, they will. Again, see what I said about hopefully stop killing games can help that. But I can still go to a fucking flea market and find used Xbox, 360, Xbox One, and even Series X games, and as long as it's a legit copy, it fucking plays in the console. And the console's being region locked? What the fuck is that? Holy shit. When I went to Japan last summer, I almost bought a custom OLED when we were in the Tokyo Nintendo store, but I remembered I got the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Switch and decided against it. Which I'm glad I did, because if you haven't tried the food in Japan, holy shit y'all, that's where you want to spend your money. And, well, also... But now, I wouldn't have the option for the Switch 2. I would have to go to fucking California and visit the Nintendo store to do that if they decide to later when the console comes out and has been out for a while. And let's just say that is not as desirable to me as Japan. The fact that they are charging less in Japan than everywhere else despite still needing to import the console from another country is blatant favoritism, because it's not just America that is getting the higher prices, it's the rest of the world too. And so it's strange that all of a sudden the Switch 2 is the one that's region locked. I get it. Nintendo can do whatever they want as a company. And you're right, they can. But we as consumers also have the right to say, fuck you, that's bullshit, I'm not participating. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to take a total biscuit stand on this, and I am not going to buy a Switch 2 at all unless I see some drastic changes from Nintendo and how they're handling this, because this is a company that I do not feel is worth my money. And as the days go on, it seems like more and more people are sharing that sentiment. But yeah, I just wanted to make this quick update video. I probably wouldn't care so much if I hadn't gotten so much shit for just trying to remind people to not blindly spend money and make sure the companies have earned your money. But I've been both angry and laughing at Nintendo as more and more insanity has unfolded, and I felt like an update was warranted. Thank you so much for watching.
You know, I was thinking, if this continues, if this does continue in massive numbers, if people continue to wake up to Nintendo's anti-consumerism, then the Switch 2 will probably not even reach 50 million units. Because as of now, it has sold 5 million. We haven't gotten any new numbers, right? Nintendo is expecting the Switch 2 to sell around 15 million in 2025. I personally don't believe it's going to reach it. Even in the Christmas season. I mean, by then, a lot of people are going to be broke with artificial intelligence taking everybody's jobs, you know? Yeah, by then, I don't think that it's going to reach 15 million. Maybe 10 million. Maybe 10 million, but not 15 million. You know? Not 15 million. And also, Nintendo's hatred towards the consumer is so vivid nowadays that it's actually hurting their pocket. Like, people can see how much Nintendo hates them. Yeah, kind of like Hollywood. Basically what happened with Hollywood for the last 5-6 years. You know, how much more can a company shoot themselves in the foot? You know, I thought Disney was bad, but Nintendo's on another level. Nintendo's on another level. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just, you know, being biased towards Nintendo. I think in the long run, Disney's probably worse. But Nintendo, you know, they're showing, I guess Nintendo's more passive-aggressive about how they dislike the consumer, right? Now, also, it won't matter how good their new games are. Like, a brand new Zelda game could probably save the Switch 2, maybe, if, like, you know, a couple of million people buy it. But I highly doubt it, as people are not even willing to tolerate the console. Even for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Did you know that Donkey Kong Bonanza is actually not selling very well? I think it sold about 1 million copies, and that's it. But if a game doesn't even reach like 5 million sales. Like Donkey Kong should reach 5 million in sales. For every person that bought a Switch 2 at this point, which is 5 million according to Nintendo, right? They should buy Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, because what else is there to play? But no, it hasn't. Donkey Kong has not been selling very well after the first week of its release. It hasn't. Like, it's kind of sad. So, and like I said, they could bring in a new Zelda game, and the next Zelda after Breath of the Wild, and the current story that we have. Whatever they got cooking up for Zelda, the next Zelda series, I don't think it's gonna do us well. I honestly don't. But hey, whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy Andy Matrix. Godspeed.